Now, when using Modkit for programming our robotics class, programming our robots, on our Suffield Tech Ed tutorial page, suffieldteched.org, you'll see the steps here for using the Modkit. The programming steps say first, open the Modkit from your apps. You can use F4 or the Launchpad. Second, in the robot, choose your motors, connect to the brain via the port, and then go to the next step, choose blocks, begin programming, then save your program and download. So let's go ahead through those steps together. First, we go to Launchpad and we see Modkit for VEX. Select Modkit for VEX, it opens up. Okay, it'll always open up to our, or should always open up to our robot page. We see the robot and we have the blocks. We'll start with robot. We have a brain, that's all we have so far. So for it to drive, we obviously need a drivetrain. So we have our wheels, we have a basic base that is pretty fitting to what we have set up right now. You'll need to look at your robot and see which ports for the motors are connected to the brain. So this is the right rear. If it's connected to port 4, we select port 4, and you can see there's a little highlighted cord coming into port 4. I'm just going to say for demonstration again, left rear, let's say it's port 10, and there we go, we have the cord going in port 10. That's our drivetrain. We have to make sure that is set up appropriately by looking at our robot and making sure that this mirrors what our robot has. The brain will only know what you tell it to do, and it has to be able to tell number 10, the left side here of the motor, to drive appropriately based on your instructions. Okay, let's say we're using ClawBot now. We know the ClawBot has a claw in front, and it also has the ability to lift the claw up. So we'll go to the rotator, this one first, and we're going to call this the claw. So we click on that little gear. This will be claw. And this one here, we will call this, this is where you're going to lift, so we'll say just lift. You can name them whatever you want as long as you know what it is. You can see that those motors are also labeled at the top of the screen here. Now we're going to go to blocks and we're going to begin programming it. I'm sorry, I forgot a step. These ports need to be identified or they will not work. You might be frustrated, but really it's the user error. I did not program them. So go ahead and make sure you don't forget like I did. Left motor will be, let's say it's number 2. So you see the 2 coming in. We have 2, 4, 8, and 10. Those are the ports set up on your robot. It may or may not be same on yours, so check yours, make sure it's good. Now we can go over to blocks. Now on blocks, we want to start with the drivetrain, and we need to have the drivetrain drive a specific distance. So we start with control and when start, when the robot's going to start. Now we go to an output, we want it to drive. Maybe we want it to drive forward. Drive forward 25, let's start with inches. Obviously this could be changed depending on what you're looking for. And then we want it to take a, let's say we'll turn left and we're going to make it a 90-degree left turn, and then we'll drive forward another 50 inches. Okay, so we drive forward 25, then we're going to turn left 90 degrees and then drive forward another 50 inches, I'm sorry. If you don't tell it exact degrees and how far to go, it will not know what to do. Now let's say we want to talk to the claw or the lift. Let's say this puts us right around a block. Well, we're going to have to now talk to that block, and one way we can do this is by saying broadcast to close the claw. Close claw. Create event. Now we go to the claw and we say when it tells us to close claw, we're going to rotate that claw to, we can say forward or reverse. We can choose a degree. You guys can go ahead and test this back and forth until it goes through the activity that's required to you. Once it's finished, we want to go up here and say program test 2. You can name it whatever you want, and we'll have to go to save. That'll save your project. Now, as we're connected with the black cord from our USB to the robot, we'll choose a slot to save on our robot brain. I'm going to choose slot 1, and we hit the download. Now it's going to say VEX IQ is not connected because it is not connected on my computer, but it should be on yours. It'll download to your brain, and then you can go ahead and test it on the robot field and see if everything worked out. If it did not, we know to come back and we'll take a look at our program. We'll make sure our ports are appropriate, and we continue going through to troubleshoot with our group to work together and figure out what's happening. Looking forward to seeing your work. Thank you.